Good morning, boys and girls. Welcome back to the eastern wing of the Stink Bug Works. Well, we got a whole lot to talk about today. First things first, Big B. I feel for you, man. I feel for you. I lost one in a similar manner that it was this close, but not close enough. You know, I hate losing them with just a little short nothing. Anyway, this thing ran pretty good. Now remember, it uses a motor just like this, different KV, but just like this. And it ran pretty good on this little motor. Now I know, I know Big B puts this motor in here, but this one's considerably lighter. So, you know, you add weight, you add power, you add power, you add weight, you add weight, you add power, you add power, you add weight. So, you know, you're chasing a never-ending spiral there. Stand by. All in all, it ran pretty good. I lowered the strut a little bit, and on the second run, the water was so choppy that it was hopping around, but I don't know where the water making it hop stopped and where the prop making it hop started. So I'll wait till some smooth water to test that out. Just so you know, the setup. Hello. Are you with me? Just so you know, the setup was the 2200 flight packs and the Aviox 1005 3Y 3400 kV, and I'm running an Octura X427 that I've balanced and sharpened and thinned and pulled the tongues off of and the like. So it's a modified 427. So there you go. It ran pretty good. This thing uses the same battery and is powered by the 10-shock motor that's in the Mini Dom, the Viper 1515, I believe it is. And I don't know what turn it is, but it's somewhere around the same KV as that, around 3500, I think. So it ran real good. I had two problems with it. One was weeds getting wound up on the prop and turning insane speeds into just not bad speeds. And the other issue was, I think the CG may have been too far forward, allowing the boat to, to fly out of the water. And I was catching air, and you could hear the prop coming out of the water. You could hear it. Bzz, bzz. So I think the secret to that is to slide the battery back a little bit and keep the back end down. So next time I'll kick the battery back down. Yesterday, before I took this out, I said I was going to put flotation in it, and I did. It's full of flotation. But here's the question, and this is a question that's always been annoying me, and I know how to answer it. It's just a pain in the ass to do so. So here's the question. Is that enough foam? Because remember, you have to float the motor, the battery, and the servo, and all the hardware, and for that matter, the hull itself. So there's a considerable amount of weight here. Well, foam will only float that which weighs less than the water the foam displaces. In other words, if you got a lot of weight, you need a lot of foam. The Titanic would have needed a whole lot of foam, if you're following where I'm going. So the bigger and heavier you are, the more foam you need. And I think Big B nailed it on his conclusion of an air pocket in the bow that was just slowly letting air out. And, you know, if only God had given him a tailwind, he might have got there in time to get it, you know, but God wasn't with him. So the only way you can really honestly know, do I have enough foam to float my boat, is to weigh your boat without any foam in it. Okay, you have a weight. The weight is X. So you get a rock that weighs X, and you tie a bag, one of those little mesh laundry bags, and you fill that up with foam until it will float that rock. And that's how much foam it takes to float your boat. Now, if you don't want to use a rock, you could use any other non-floating item that weighs as much as your boat. But that's the only way to really tell is, does the foam displace enough water to float all of this non-floatable stuff, all of this stuff that sinks? So there you go with that. Now, finally, this is what everybody's been waiting for. Yes, boys and girls. Yes. I am going to reveal the next challenge. Stand by. And then I'll tell you why I picked this particular challenge. First off, it's going to be 2S again. And the reason I did that is it keeps things smaller and cheaper, and everybody has a 2S boat somewhere. And quite frankly, you could prop this up and put 2S in this and it would run damn near as fast as it did. Or you put a different KV motor in here and it will run just as fast. But then here's the rest of the challenge. It'll be the same 100-foot course, but just to make it challenging, since everybody seemed to have plenty of power left when they finished their 10 laps, this time I'll make it 15 laps. So 15 laps, 100-foot course, and you have to run it in a figure eight, which means you're going to do a right turn at this end and a left turn at that end, or a right turn at that end and a left turn at this end. I don't care which, just as long as you have a different direction on this corner from that corner. Let me see if I got this in screen. From this corner over here to that corner over there. There you go. So as long as you're within there, and you got to do a figure eight. Now, what's that going to do? It's going to make it really hard for riggers. Not impossible, but you won't be able to fly around the left-hand turn. The right-hand turn, you can whip right around it. The left-hand turn, Well, I don't know. You could put another turn fin in. But you'd be turning it against the prop, but still, well, there you go. It's food for thought. And that's partly what we've got. And so there is a rigger in the prize. There's the Dona rigger that I built years ago. And it's still a good boat. It's got some unicorn hardware on it. Total unicorn stuff. And then I have that 3D printed boat, which is actually not a bad boat. There is one thing that worries me about it, and the solution is simple. I'm not 100% convinced that plastic that's basically squirted out of a moving head, where it squirts onto the layer of plastic below it, I'm not entirely convinced that that's a 100% waterproof joint. I think moisture can wick through there in certain spaces. The solution is simple. Just paint the thing, Problem solved. But I'm not 100% convinced that if I filled that whole hull with water and propped it up, that there wouldn't be a pool of water under it the following day. Just some thoughts. So there you go, boys and girls. The new challenge. It's a 2S figure 8 and 15 laps. All the other standard rules apply, how you get your buoys out there and, all that. That's all the same. I'm just giving you more laps and left turns. Until next time, boys and girls, jet out.